That's a lot.
No, that's what you're offering. You can't stop it anyway.
That's a lot. You got too much here. Give me some money.
I'm doing it hard.
Give me some money. I'll let you open up in Melbourne.
You think he'll do it?
Hey, and I'll protect them for you.
You think I'll do it?
You can't protect yourself, my brother. Relax.
Come on.
Nah.
Hey, I can protect myself. None of your boys anywhere to be seen down here.
This ghost. I'll give you my word. You pick a place. I'll leave my son wherever you want. Yeah?
I don't go anywhere.
I'm just how confident I am. Alright? And I'll put him anywhere you want. Word to word. A man to man. I'll get anyone to. I'll vouch for myself. You tell. Oh, if not, I'll kill him. If not, I'll kill him.
Something now. Let me send that little bitch next to you.
Nah, he's not a bitch. He's not here because he's a bitch. Nah, he's not.
Hey, I'm still alive, bro. 8 shots later, and I'm still alive.
You're lucky. Luck.
That's a risk.
Luck.
Mate. That's a risk.
Luck. Yeah, because we done wrong in this dunya. That's why you got better there, but.
It's the same, brother.
Just a few months ago, we talked about Melbourne's most hunted man. For over a decade, Sam, the Punisher, Abdulrahim, defied the odds, surviving countless assassination attempts, violent betrayals, and relentless vendettas in Melbourne's criminal underworld. With a $1 million bounty on his head, and a web of enemies spanning the Middle East and Australia, Sam seemed destined for an untimely death. Yet, through sheer luck, cunning, and brute force, he endured until now. On January 28th, 2025, the life of Sam Abdulrahim came to a violent end in the same manner as it had been lived, amid chaos, bloodshed, and the shadow of vengeance. This video delves into the circumstances of his death, the enemies who sought to eliminate him, and the fallout of a murder that has left Melbourne's criminal landscape in disarray. Sam Abdulrahim's luck ran out just after 10 AM on a quiet Tuesday morning in Melbourne's northern suburbs. Sam had been staying overnight at the Quest Hotel on High Street, Preston. As he walked out of the building and towards his car in the hotel's parking lot, he was accompanied by his girlfriend. Moments later, multiple attackers approached him on foot. Without warning, they opened fire, unleashing a volley of bullets that struck him several times, including at least one fatal shot to the head. His girlfriend, who miraculously escaped without any physical injuries, was left shaken and distraught. Witnesses reported that she tried desperately to save Sam's life, administering first aid until emergency responders arrived. Despite her efforts, as well as CPR performed by police, Sam died at the scene. Melbourne's most hunted man was finally silenced. Sam's life was a constant game of survival. Born into the chaos of Melbourne's criminal underworld, he had been a target for years, with numerous assassination attempts made on his life. These past attempts were as brutal as they were numerous, yet Sam seemed to always slip away, evading death by sheer luck or his own cunning. However, with each failed attempt, his reputation grew, making him both a symbol of defiance to his enemies and a challenge to the law enforcement trying to put an end to his criminal activities. One of the first significant incidents came in March 2019 when Abdulrahim was the target of a drive-by shooting in Brunswick. The attackers fired at him from a vehicle, but he managed to survive the attack. This incident highlighted just how dangerous Abdulrahim's criminal connections had made his life, as he had already accumulated numerous enemies who wanted him dead. The most harrowing attack came in June 2022, when Sam was ambushed and shot 8 times. He was driving his luxury Mercedes as part of a funeral procession on Box Forest Road in Fawkner when a Mazda pulled up beside him. Someone inside the Mazda opened fire, targeting his chest. Despite being shot multiple times, Sam managed to drive himself toward the Fawkner police station, attempting to get help. He was rushed to the hospital and spent 2 days in intensive care, but even after such a close call with death, he discharged himself from the hospital after 2 weeks, still with a bullet lodged in his kidney. He taunted his attackers from his hospital bed, mocking them and declaring that they will get their day.
Pretty sure it was a handgun. From what the doctors have said to me, the bullets, 9mm. When the car pulled up next to me, I thought it was one of my mates from the funeral. And when I looked and I'm just saying something pointing at me, I go, nah, surely this is a joke.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, and shot in the eye.
In May 2024, he survived another ambush outside his home in Thomastown. This time, a hit team fired 17 shots at him in the dead of night, but once again, Sam managed to escape unscathed, despite the severity of the attack. Following this, he went into hiding, fearing for his life, as he knew that the people who wanted him dead would not stop. In June 2024, Sam's home in Thomastown was again targeted, this time in a drive-by shooting. While he survived yet another attack, the continuous violence and attempts on his life showed how dangerous his life had become, with rival factions seemingly determined to end it. It's clear how over the years, Sam's enemies had grown bolder, attempting to kill him with increasing frequency. The pattern of ambushes, drive-by shootings and bombings left a clear trail of retribution and retaliation, mostly directed by those who had been wronged by Sam's ruthless actions. Yet, despite this constant threat, Sam's survival instincts and sheer tenacity allowed him to remain untouchable until the final, deadly attempt. Sam's involvement with bikie gangs played a significant role in shaping his criminal career and the numerous enemies he made along the way. Initially, he aligned himself with several bikie clubs, most notably the Bandidos and later the Mongols. However, his relationship with the gang soured over time. By 2021, he was expelled from the Mongols, and this separation marked a critical turning point. His expulsion made him a target for revenge from his former comrades, especially since he had been involved in multiple betrayals and violent incidents within the gang. His fallout also positioned him as a prime target for other criminal groups, including rival bikie clubs and criminal syndicates, adding to the long list of those who wanted him dead. Sam's most significant and long-standing adversary, however, is Kazem Kazi Hamad, a powerful and feared figure at the centre of Melbourne's illicit tobacco and drug trafficking operations. After being deported to Iraq in 2023, Kaz took control of a vast criminal empire, running illicit operations from the Middle East. From there, he reportedly placed a $1 million bounty on Sam's head, sending hitmen and arsonists to target him. The feud between Sam and Kaz had its roots in 2016, when Sam was implicated in the murder of Kadir KD Oars, a key associate of the Hamad crew. Oars was killed in a brutal drive-by shooting, and Sam was believed to have played a key role in orchestrating the ambush by luring Oars to the scene, where rival criminal George Marogi opened fire. Despite Sam's denials of involvement, even the Victoria Court of Appeal suggested that he was connected to the killing, deepening the rift between Sam and the Hamads. This event set off a cycle of violence and retaliation that would haunt Sam in the years to come, especially as Kaz and his cousin Ahmed Al-Hamza vowed revenge for the death of their associate. Just days after Sam's death, a video began circulating online showing him on a call with Kazem Hamad. In the footage, Sam is seen taunting Hamad after surviving the 2022 shooting. Laughing, he tells Hamad, "I'm still alive. 8 shots later and I'm still alive." Hamad, speaking from the Middle East, replies, "You're lucky."
Brother, yeah?
Hey, I'm still alive, bro. 8 shots later and I'm still alive.
You're lucky. Luck.
That's a risk.
Luck.
Mate, that's a risk.
Luck. Yeah, because we done wrong in this dunya. That's why you got better there, but...
They're the same, brother.
The exchange grows more heated as Sam asserts his ability to defend himself, claiming, "I can protect myself, none of your boys are anywhere to be seen down here." While Sam's bravado was evident in the call, he knew he was living on borrowed time. His words, though mocking, also betrayed an understanding of the constant danger that surrounded him. He knew that his death was always just around the corner, waiting for the right moment to strike. In the end, living on the run wasn't enough, and his enemy's relentless pursuit finally caught up with him. Following the fatal shooting of Sam, authorities quickly launched a full-scale investigation to apprehend those responsible for the brutal ambush. Detective Inspector Dean Thomas confirmed that the homicide squad was immediately deployed to the scene of the shooting, and they began canvassing for evidence, including surveillance footage from the area, witness testimonies and any forensic evidence that could lead to the identification of the killers. What is known so far is that the assailants employed a two-stage getaway plan. Initially, they immediately fled the scene in a white Porsche SUV, driving north along High Street. About half an hour later, the vehicle was found torched at the intersection of Northern Hay and Alexandra Streets in Reservoir. The assailants later switched to a second getaway vehicle, a grey Ford Ranger, also discovered incinerated in West Meadows. What still remains unclear, however, is how the killers knew Sam's location that morning. Sam arrived back in Australia just a week before his tragic assassination, having been overseas for some time. After the failed hit in May, he became much more cautious about disclosing his whereabouts, frequently changing his accommodation and ensuring his movements were not easily tracked. Despite his efforts to remain elusive, the hit team was able to target him with precision, ambushing him in the car park of the Quest serviced apartments in Preston after he had only been there for a day. Sam had plans to leave Australia on the 30th, just days after the attack, and it was his swift arrival in the country and his brief stay in the apartment that raised suspicions. Given his guarded nature and the fact that only a select few in his trusted circle knew his exact whereabouts, the police believe the execution was made possible by someone who had access to this sensitive information. This suggests that someone in Sam's inner circle betrayed him by providing details of his movements, allowing the killers to act quickly and precisely. The timing of the hit, just before he was about to depart, makes it clear that the murder was orchestrated with inside knowledge. Sam Abdulrahim's family has expressed deep sorrow and frustration over his tragic death, with statements revealing their grief, anger and desire for justice. His sister Ektimal Abdulrahim took to social media with a powerful message directed at her brother's killers, vowing vengeance. Jessica Power, Sam's ex-girlfriend, also shared her heartbreak on social media, expressing devastation over the news of his death. She reflected on their past relationship, saying they had ended on good terms and that Abdulrahim had always been supportive of her. Power emphasised that Sam was a family man, dedicated to his loved ones, and had a good heart, even though his connections to the criminal underworld had ultimately contributed to their breakup. She spoke with sympathy for his wife and child, recognising the immense pain they would now face, especially as child growing up without a father. The family's statements reflect the heavy weight of unanswered questions surrounding Sam's death. Inspector Dean Thomas emphasised that the homicide squad, supported by Task Force Luna, is fully committed to uncovering the truth, leaving no stone unturned in their pursuit of justice. While there are concerns about potential retaliation from those close to Sam, police are closely monitoring the situation and maintaining a high visible presence in the area. Thomas has urged anyone with information, especially those connected to Sam, to cooperate with the authorities to help bring the perpetrators to justice. Despite the uncertainties surrounding the case, police are determined to follow every lead and ensure that those behind the murder are held accountable. Sam Abdulrahim's life was a grim reflection of Melbourne's criminal underworld, a world where violence and survival go hand in hand. His death, while inevitable to many, marks the end of a decade-long saga that captivated the public and left a trail of destruction in its wake. For some, Sam's assassination represents justice, a long overdue reckoning for a man who thrived in chaos. For others, it's a sobering reminder of the brutal realities of the criminal world, where even the most notorious figures are not immune to the deadly consequences of their choices. With the full force of Victoria Police behind the investigation, the hunt for those responsible has only just begun. Retaliation fears loom, but for now, Sam's violent and unpredictable life has come to a tragic end, leaving a ripple effect that will echo through the criminal underworld. As always, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I have a full deep dive video on the life of Sam Abdulrahim, which I highly recommend checking out. And if you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It really helps me out and helps the channel grow. Till next time, take care.